This week we're going to take a look at weather trends in Brazil and Argentina. We're also going to focus in on long-term trends in November soybean futures as we enter the critical crop insurance pricing period of February. Hi, this is Brian Basting with Advanced Trading. Let's talk about the soybean market. We've moved into the month of February and prices remain extremely volatile. Let's take a look at the weather trends in Brazil and Argentina. We're going to start out looking at where those soybeans are produced in Brazil. We've looked at this slide often, but it bears repeating that it's a very large range of production. In Mato Grosso, the far northern state, they're about 1/3 done with soybean harvest. But in that far southern state of Rio Grande do Sul, no harvest is taking place. In fact, those beans are still in the pod set and pod fill stage. Let's turn our attention to weather. Our slides this week, as usual, are courtesy of T-Storm Weather. We're going to start out looking at the last 14 days as a measure of topsoil moisture. Notice in those northern areas, particularly Mato Grosso, that has been fairly dry, which has been good for soybean harvest. And now, as we move further south, however, that's changed. It's been a bit dry as we move further south, particularly in that far southern state of Rio Grande do Sul, which is the third largest producing state. So again, quite a divergence in weather trends from north to south. Let's move on now and look at Wednesday through Saturday. It does look like there's going to be some moisture in that southern area this week, which will help some of those later planted beans. Now let's quantify the next 2 weeks. Moisture over the next 2 weeks, looking at that northern area of Mato Grosso, again where they're harvesting beans, normal amount of precip, which should facilitate normal harvest progress. As we move further south in Brazil, however, it does dry out, particularly across Rio Grande do Sul, which is detrimental to those soybeans in that far southern area. Let's shift our focus now to Argentina, looking at where those soybeans are produced in the country. We're looking at three key provinces here for Argentina: Buenos Aires, Cordoba, and Santa Fe, accounting for roughly 80% of Argentina's soybean production. Let's take a look at short-term weather trends for Argentina. Now again, we're looking at the last 14 days. Notice in Argentina it's been wet. Looking at that area here across those provinces we highlighted, that's bought that soybean crop a little bit of time. Now, that crop is not out of the woods. I want to emphasize that. The month of February is critical for soybeans in Argentina. So let's look at this week, looking at Wednesday through Saturday. We're looking at some additional moisture moving into those key areas of Argentina. So again, the crop is at least stabilized, and they are looking at some moisture this week. However, as we move further ahead here, starting Saturday or Sunday, it looks like it's going to be a drying trend across the entire country here. And most importantly, next week, there's some indications of heat redeveloping across those areas. So let's quantify the next 2 weeks, looking at precip over Argentina. We're looking at drier trend compared to those previous 2 weeks. Look at that darker red area here. Really concerning here, and that's what ignited the soybean market here on Tuesday, the day of our taping. Let's wrap things up this week looking at trends in November soybean futures. We looked at this slide, and it bears repeating now, particularly as you enter the crop insurance pricing period of February, that at near $13.85 a bushel, November 22 soybean futures are at the highest price ever for early February. So strongly encourage you to work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to manage price movement. Now, if you'd like more information, please feel free to contact us at 800-664-2321. We'll put you in contact with one of our risk management consultants who'll be happy to visit with you at your convenience. And remember, we upload every Wednesday. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an upload. Thanks a lot. Have a good week.